Alright, John, start it, you pussy.
What is popping 10? Home
yet, I think.
slices. So,
Yeah,
our fans are now called the Brennan's Bread Gang. Because they're my
No.
home slices.
You know what? Yeah, I like it.
Peter was like, nah, and then he heard my justification
Yeah,
and he was like,
yeah.
I.
I was like, Loki. I was like, Loki, that's a bar.
Came up with it all by myself. Alright, home slices. Get ready for the best episode this podcast has ever had.
What do you mean? Last week's episode was the best we've ever had.
Nah, man, Peter wasn't there, and you know it's not the
Hey.
same when Peter ain't here.
Thanks, fam.
So, Peter, do you want to apologize to all the home slices?
I'm sorry, fam. The mic was kind of was acting up, but I bought a new one,
Alright.
so I'm sorry.
Seems heartfelt to me, so I'm sure they accept. I'm sure all 12 of them accept.
13!
13. I'm sure all 13 of our home slices accept. So we got a pretty packed episode this week. We decided to
4
come
hours
up with
long.
some topics. We decided some preparation was a good idea.
After the fucking shit show that was last week.
Yeah.
I wasn't here for it, and I haven't watched it. You know, I'm gonna go back and watch it.
Right now.
No, not now.
Yeah.
This whole podcast is a
Hold
review
actually
of.
pause for.
Alright, so do we want to get straight into drugs?
We have to do the movie. Do the movie.
Yeah, we'll do the movie. Okay.
Alright, who was it? Carl? What movie did
Carl,
you
yeah.
recommend last week?
It was Batman: The Dark Knight.
Which is the first installment in the Dark Knight trilogy.
This is
by
true.
Some guy.
Christopher Nolan.
That guy.
Some guy.
And I think Peter's the only one with
No,
a
it's
problem with it.
no, it's not the first installment. It's the
Yeah,
second
like
installment.
Because Scarecrow was
fuck?
first, wasn't it?
Yeah, Batman Begins with Scarecrow
Hardly, man.
and
Dark
Cillian
Knight
Murphy, Cillian
Yeah,
Murphy and
second, yeah.
Liam
Why
Neeson.
hear
It was
Dark
Batman
Knight
versus the only two
Why-
Irish actors.
Begins, right? Say that out loud.
What?
Batman Begins.
Do I hear Dark Knight in that word?
Yeah, but you first of all you said trilogy.
Yeah.
All right,
Lord
stop.
of the Rings trilogy has Lord of the Rings at the start of every movie.
Yeah, but all right. Well, then it's not a trilogy if we're going off
Yeah,
what
it's
you're
just
saying
a
because
It
there's
is.
only
I
two
have
of
a
them.
I have a fan-made trequel. What's the third one?
Adam, you're pissing me off. I'm not gonna lie. I'm angry.
What have I done?
All right, so it's the second installment in the Christopher Nolan Batman franchise.
There you go.
The first one was Scarecrow, who was played by Cillian Murphy, and Ra's al Ghul, who was played by Liam Neeson, the two Irish actors that he got to be the bad guys for some reason.
Well, probably something to do with the IRA or something. It kind of makes
probably
sense.
up the ra.
Oh Jesus! Demonetized.
Nah, YouTube doesn't care.
It's definitely the best installment though.
Yeah.
That is 10 out of 10 film for me. That was one of the I kept forgetting that like I have these like scenes in my head of like, oh yeah, that's a great scene or blah blah blah. And then we were watching it, me and Adam were just watching it there just before we came on the pod, and I was like, oh my god, this was in this film as well, and like it happened like 5 or 6 times. It was like great scene, 10 out of 10 would recommend. The one when he put the pencil through your
Yeah,
man's
that's the
head
one
on
I was
table.
going to say. The magic trick
That
with the
is-
pencil.
yeah.
That is
It's
an
one of the
insane
best
scene.
scenes of film I've ever watched.
Yeah, the truck scene where he pulls out the RPG.
Oh, yeah,
That
pretty
is
funny.
insane. The interview scene is really, really good as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
I love when I-
chock
Wait,
full of
Wait.
insane
Adam,
stuff.
you said I'm the only one who has a problem with it. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I just assumed you'd have a problem with it.
No, what you, big man. Like, I don't go through just looking to nitpick. It's just when
Well-
when you recommend garbage like Sharktopus or whatever the fuck.
Not
like,
garbage. There was nothing.
The
There
whole
was
movie
no
is
holes.
a problem. The whole movie is a problem.
I would say like right, Dark Knight probably a 9 out of 10. Sharktopus easy 9.5, possible 10 out of 10.
I completely understand. I respect it.
Shut up, Peter. Don't encourage him.
No, that movie, like the opening scene at like the bank,
Mm.
Yeah,
that
oh,
was-
that's so
Oh,
good.
that was
Incredible.
insane.
that was incredible. Did
Everybody
Mm.
killing each other.
The cell phone in your man's stomach, I was like, I remember the
Oh.
first time I watched that, and I was like, man, who wrote this and what drugs was he on?
I
Absolutely insane.
Heath Ledger's Joker was just incredible. Like I
Mm.
watched the movie and then I went on YouTube. I watched just like 40-minute compilation of just his scenes.
Yeah.
Like they just he got it down to roll perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought.
all the little things that he did, like the licking his lips, or like
Mm.
the way he walks, like when he was walking out of the hospital.
Yeah,
At
all
the end,
even like
I even said it to Adam. I was like, that'd be a class poster to have, or like a
Yeah.
painter or something.
like the
That
whole
that was unscripted, by the way.
yeah, the way he was walking, that was all improv.
No, well, not the way he was walking. The hospital
No,
not
I mean
blowing up
yeah,
was
open
unscripted.
sorry, not that I was talking about, but I meant like the whole yeah, the
Oh
hospital
yeah,
blowing up. That was all improv. When I heard that, I was like, that's
When
yeah.
Heath
bad.
Ledger actually blew the hospital up.
Well, they had like
Yeah, when people
practical effects. And so he was
Oh,
actually
okay,
supposed.
yeah.
So in real life, he pressed a button and an explosion was supposed to go off, but it didn't. It didn't go off straight away, and he stayed in character.
Oh,
And they
nice.
used it.
Job.
Yeah, it's insane. Man, he would have been a fucking amazing Willy Wonka.
A really
Yeah,
dark,
that's true.
sinister one.
Yeah.
I feel like just to go back to the whole hospital scene, I feel like the only thing I can attribute it like that is similar to was in Django when Leonardo DiCaprio cut his hand.
Yeah. Oh
That was
yeah.
that was
And
entirely
he's
like
like smearing his
unscripted.
blood over your one's face.
That was so like those
Mm.
two scenes are so iconic. Like I'm like incredible to show like the level that those actors are at.
Yeah.
I love Django. That is such an amazing movie.
Mm.
I thought Harvey Dent was kind of sick as well, to be honest. I think like, he kind of goes under the radar, but I don't know, it's just like
I
He
liked
gets
to
he gets
hate him.
overshadowed by
yeah, it was
Heath
like it was
Ledger a lot.
like rightfully so almost because
What did you
Heath
like
Ledger
about
was
his
so much
character?
better. He's just the way he played it, I thought was good. Like if you think about Heath Ledger's Joker, nothing's really like super over the top about the way he acts. Like the things that he's doing is fucking mad, but like when
Mm.
he's there, he's not like losing his shit laughing or like
Mm.
Jared Leto kind of looks all over the top and acts
Yeah.
all over the top, but like he kind of just played it so like perfectly minimalistic and not minimalistic, but like do you know what I mean? Like it was
Yeah.
just little subtle things that show that he was like that were just like little I don't know nuances towards the like the real like the comic Joker. Do you know what I mean? Like it
Mm.
wasn't. I don't know. He just kind of made it his
I
own
like
thing instead of trying to copy everything from
I
the
like
real Joker.
I liked his character arc. His character arc was good.
Yeah,
From like,
but
but yeah, go.
Harvey Dent. So Harvey Dent has six. You know when he's in the car with what's his name
Oh yeah,
Maroney
and he
at the
flips the
end, and
coin.
he's like he asks him like, oh, it improves your chances or whatever, and then he flicks the coin and it lands on head, and then he flicks the coin again and it's for the driver and he shoots the driver, but before he does he puts on his seatbelt. I thought that was sick. I don't know why I thought that was sick, but I just thought it was fucking badass.
Yeah.
He was like, fuck this shit, man, I'm
I,
going down as
I,
well. Gonna
I
put my
couldn't stop
seatbelt on.
thinking. I couldn't stop thinking of No Country of Old Men whenever he did
The coin. Oh
the coin
yeah.
flip.
Yeah.
For
The
the
first
shop.
thing that he did, yeah,
Yeah.
could not stop thinking about it.
The
It was,
okay, so there's only one complaint I have about The Dark Knight, and it's such a minor thing, and you guys will know as soon as I say it because it's like memed everywhere. Is where Joker dressed up as a nurse and went to talk to Harvey Dent, and Harvey Dent didn't realize that it was
Until he pulled
Joker
off
until
the
he pulled
mask.
off the face mask. Unveiled the lower 40% of his face, and then it wasn't the greasy red hair or whatever color it was.
The
I can't even
black
remember.
eyes.
Yeah, or the black eyes, or like white face paint, or the way he was talking. It was okay, I don't know. It's
His
just
mouth.
stupid.
It was funny.
Mm. Like if that's the case and you have to identify people using their mouth, then everybody should know that Batman is Bruce Wayne.
Batman is
Yeah, I don't know. It's a super amazing movie, and Christian Bale was a really really good Batman.
Yeah.
Even in the next one, which isn't as good, but I also consider to be a really good film.
Yeah, it is.
Um, yeah. In the
I- I-
Do you know the next one, Dark Knight Rises with Bane? Do you know the bit at the start with the plane?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
well,
know what you mean.
they're in the plane and Bane, like, they
Oh,
fly
yeah,
a plane
yeah,
over
yeah,
plane,
yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah.
and they like kidnap people out of it. That was all done without any special effects.
They just did it in the plane.
Yeah, like they actually flew like up high and had like a plane attached to another plane. Did everything. Everything in the film was done
Yeah, yeah.
in real life, and you can look up videos of it happening, and it's really amazing. It's super
The-
cool.
The budget on that must have been fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd say so. Well, after the last film was so successful, I'd say
But
they
how
just
do you
throw as much money as they can at it.
how do you even explain that to like
The studio?
the head of the studio?
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
"Alright, I'm gonna need a plane. I
And
need
then another one.
And I want the first one attached to the second one. Yeah.
In
And they're,
midair.
and they're like, yeah, I'm all for it. No problem. Take as much as you want."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the problem with like kind of talking about movies like the Dark Knight and stuff. It's it's such a perfect movie. Like there's not much you can discuss. You're just like, yep,
Yeah, it was sick. Yeah.
Oh, there's
that's
another
sick. Like,
thing.
oh,
Another thing I thought
alright,
of.
just
You know when he's
completing the game. My point. No bother.
no, but that's what
No,
I
no,
was just
I'm kidding.
shut the fuck up, Peter. Intern Andy is taking over the podcast. When they were in the building when he had Joker over the edge.
Mm.
It's like near the end when they're doing the boats. I couldn't. I also started thinking about Spider-Man, and you know he has to bang all the
With
like,
Venom?
steel things with
Yeah.
Venom.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That reminded me the building thing kind of
Just to
reminded
bang
me
all the
of
bitches.
that.
Yeah. He was banging it. Man, th- yeah. You have me think about Spider-Man now. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is unreal. Have you guys seen The Amazing Spider-Man 2? With
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Electro and
I didn't think it
that
was that
film
bad.
it's not that bad, it's not amazing, it's painfully average. But that bit where Gwen Stacy dies, that is the
Oh,
most
shit,
intense
yeah,
thing
dude.
I've ever seen in a Marvel
Yeah,
movie.
that's such a weird thing for like children went to go see that to
Yeah.
see a woman
Smack-
whack her. Yeah,
Oh my god! And the sound wasn't even like soul. You heard like
yeah,
a
it was.
skull. Oh, it felt nasty. I felt sick. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I was watching. I was like, dude, what the actual fuck?
But
Yeah.
the thing I didn't understand was that her dying and then like him going back to being happy again was like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
it
guess.
it didn't give enough time for you like the viewers to be like okay like what the fuck just happened?
Mm.
Yeah,
Like, in 10 minutes he's like, yeah, she died, but I'm Spider-Man again. I'm like, all right, completely negate what her dad told you to do and shit.
Yeah. And Rhino came and then
And then
nothing
everything's
ever happened.
everything's all cool and shit.
Then he got fired.
bless him.
Andrew Garfield got fired. Yeah, that's cool though. Hey, Andrew Garfield and your one are Emma Stone are together in real life as well, which is kind of
Oh
cool.
really?
Yeah.
No, I think they broke up
Oh, did they?
like a good while ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
Hollywood
well-
drama.
She's probably with Jake.
Gyllenhaal.
No, not what's the other guy? Ryan.
Um,
No, it's Ryan Gosling. She's probably with
Oh.
Ryan Gosling now,
Why?
Probably.
because they did La La Land together.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
Yeah. So Dark Knight, amazing movie. If you haven't seen it, then you're definitely not watching this, because there's no way you'd watch this and not have seen The Dark Knight. But if by some chance you haven't seen it, go watch it. Amazing film.
Yeah.
Probably watch Batman Begins first. Watch the whole trilogy. It's really good.
Yeah, sick.
So what's
And-
the movie for next week?
Yeah, we have a grand reveal now. We're back on John, so there might actually be a good movie.
All right. So I
What do you
couldn't
think might be
decide.
a good movie. The Dark
What the fuck?
Fuck all he is, man. Me and John are the only people that came up with a good movie.
Man, Alien Isolation
God.
was the best thing I've ever watched. Um, no, so I can't, okay. I came up with two movies. I had one movie in my head and I was like, that's gonna be my next movie. And okay, so here's the backstory. I've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed Odyssey recently, which
Yeah.
is set in the Greek world, like in minus 600 BC or whatever. Minus 600, just 600 BC. There's no minus. So I was like, man, I really want to watch 300 again, and then I was thinking I should like do that as my next movie. So I had it in my head that we were gonna watch 300 for ages, and then I watched a video earlier on today that Jacksepticeye uploaded about him. I still sometimes watch Jacksepticeye because like it depends on the title and stuff.
Yeah.
But and if it's like a game that I want to watch. But it was the story of him watching The Exorcist.
Nice.
And I was like, man, I watched The Exorcist like maybe 8 or 9 years ago, and
Yeah.
I didn't really pay attention to it, and I can't really remember it. But I thought it'd be a really good one to watch and discuss, like. So I can't decide now whether to watch 300 or The Exorcist, which are probably the two most different movies.
Yeah, that's kind of.
So I had the idea in my head to leave it up to you guys to have, because there's 3 of us, so it won't be like a tie or anything, to just have a vote on what you guys want to watch, because I'd be happy with either.
Or do we do a Harvey Dent coin toss?
No, Exorcist.
That was a cool segue. You're just like, nah, fuck you.
You can coin toss
I
for your
haven't seen
vote.
Exorcist, so I'd want to watch Exorcist.
All right. So are we happy with Exorcist,
Yeah,
Adam?
that's 2 for Exorcist. Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter what I think. No, I
Alright.
probably would have said Exorcist anyway.
All right. Well, 300 will probably be next time then,
In 4 weeks' time.
in 4 weeks' time. Yeah. Tune in, July whatever for The Exorcist. For 300. I might watch 300 myself before then. So yeah. Okay. Movie next week will be The Exorcist, which I'm very excited for. I think it's gonna be shit, to be honest. It came out in like 1960 something,
Yeah.
so it can't be good.
It'll be fine. We'll make it good.
Yeah, there'll be a lot to discuss though, and like I'm sure you guys have probably played the Scary Maze game and stuff like that. Like I don't know about you guys, but The Exorcist, that one image of the girl, do you know the image I'm talking about? Where it's just her face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one image haunted me when I was younger. So, and that's why I went and watched it, and I was like, well, she doesn't actually look like that really in the movie.
No.
And but yeah, The Exorcist is just something that's always been with me, and I think it's a universal thing. It's like since it came out, it's just been considered one of the scariest movies.
Yeah. All right then. Exorcist next week.
Pog Champion.
What do we talk about now? What heavy ass topics do we want to get into?
Well, we could talk about. So this week or recently, we've branched out into something other than the podcast.
Oh yeah.
We me and Adam and Peter watched the PS5 reveal. Go watch that video, and we kind of talked about it. We talked a lot during it. We talked more than I thought we would, to be honest.
Yeah, we just kind of talk shit to each other, to be honest.
Yeah. I thought it was cool though. It was entertaining. We only got
Yeah, that was
copyright
good.
claimed 600 times.
Yeah, I was watching it earlier. Was it earlier today or whenever it was? And I was like, oh my god, how is this not being like taken down?
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
it's literally just the the live stream
We have
with
no
audio.
With audio, yeah.
But it was fun, and I'm excited for PS5. I'm excited to branch out into more content too. Different types of content.
We have one thing planned that's kind of going to be in the works, I think, for a little bit longer, but hopefully we can get it out
Yeah,
in the next like a week or 2, maybe.
yeah,
Because we don't know how long it's going to take, but we're currently playing No Man's Sky, and we're gonna attempt to do a little series on it. But the editing is we're just trying to make it funny as funny as possible using editing to our advantage because we're all
Yeah.
boring bastards.
true.
So
Speak for yourself.
so we've got some yeah, we've got some shit going with that. So hopefully we can get the first episode out
Yeah, sometimes
soon
soon.
enough. Yeah, sometimes next
I've
week.
kind
maybe.
of been I don't know what way we're gonna edit it. We'll probably take turns or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I've been kind of like looking into trying to educate myself better on how to edit a little bit better. I've been like
Yeah.
looking at YouTube videos and things like that, and just trying things out before I go into it. Because obviously this podcast is very easy to edit. I literally just
Yeah, as
the
long as we
worst
don't
thing
say
I had to
anything
do
stupid.
was add a beep or like a technical difficulties, which was pretty easy, but still took me like a good 20 minutes to figure
Yeah,
out how
just
to do.
figure it out. Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be fun, and
We're
we're
probably
excited
doing
for
some
it.
more games as well.
Yeah.
We've got a
We
good few lined up that we think we could get something out
yeah,
of.
and we decided to do No Man's Sky because like we had been talking about doing gameplay content, and then I was just scrolling through Twitter and I follow Sean Murray, who's like the
Yeah,
head guy in No Man's Sky
Hello
at like
Games.
at Hello Games,
Hello.
and it was like, oh, crossplay is coming out tomorrow, and I was like, that's kind of perfect because me and Adam have PCs and Peter has a PS4, and I guess like if you have a PS4 as well, Carol could probably join. Do you have
Yeah, you
No
could.
Man's
Yeah, yeah.
Sky on the
Yeah,
PS4?
he does. Yeah. Well, I have it.
Well,
So yeah.
it's in my. What do you mean, Adam? You fail to realize just
Yeah,
because
but
it's
Carl,
being
I
in
bought.
your room.
Not what are you talking about?
You
I
didn't buy
bought
the
No Man.
PS4.
He asked, "Do you have No Man's Sky?" Right? And then I said, "Yes, I have it." Do you own No
Okay.
Man's Sky?
No, but I thought you
No.
were about
There we
to.
go.
No, shut the fuck up. I thought you were about to claim like the PS4 was yours. Adam, I'll
Yeah,
go in that
yeah.
fucking
So
room
John,
and beat your
the,
ass, you
the gaming
fucking idiot.
content, yeah, the gaming shit has been like really, really fun. You know, you can tell if you ever watch it. I'm enjoying myself quite.
Yeah.
Oh Christ! Yeah, we have. That's basically what all the editing is because Peter just loves it so much.
Yeah,
that
this
we
is
have
true.
to. Yeah,
Right.
we're doing something funny with Peter's lovely reactions to playing a game that is an NBA. Or...
Yeah, and
Which
yeah,
one-
if
hey,
Carl wanted to
wait
join
a
at some
minute.
stage, we could definitely have that.
Don't violate me like that, man. Listen, the game is ass. Right? It's ass because I don't know what I'm doing. So
Man,
automatically,
you're just
it's ass.
stupid.
No.
Speaking of Peter being stupid, we had a game night last night. Another Friday fun.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
think
shut
there
your
was some teams, and it was basically just boiled down to me versus Peter, and Carl every now and then
For
threw in an
for
answer.
what do you mean? Fuck
Hey,
that.
Carol, because I was on your team and you were contributing less than shit.
What? Are you taking the piss? Okay,
Yeah.
this little fucking know-it-all decides, oh yeah, even though me and Kate would still know the answer, this little bitch wouldn't give us an fucking a chance in edgeways to get our word in. So you'd be like, oh
Okay.
yeah,
No,
say
no,
whatever
no,
answer is,
no, no. Okay.
final
Oh,
answer, not even discuss it
okay.
with us.
Oh, you want
Fuck that.
You want to get into this? I bet no bother. Alright,
Oh
so,
yeah, I will.
it's good, it's good. All right. So basically, right, John, you weren't there. They were shy, and I would know. It's like somebody asks you what color is the sky. I don't need to confer with you to say blue, big man, right? So I know the answer, and I know it's 100%.
No, that's completely fine. But
Wait,
don't start going, oh yeah,
Let him
big
finish.
brain
Let him
things.
finish.
Okay, go on.
Wait a second, right? Yes, so no bother, right? So then there's a question where we all three of us didn't know, okay? And then I say the two of them agree on something. I say I think it's this because of a kid's thing. They don't say. They say, oh yeah, okay, well it might be this. That's like, all right, grand. And I took initiative, being like, it's more. Think of how the question was like posed. It must be this. I get it wrong. The other team gets it wrong. The thing that they were gonna say was wrong regardless. So it was going to be wrong anyway. All right?
No,
So,
yeah.
Principles.
so the one thing you have over me is I got that wrong. That was the one thing, and you still got it wrong. So I don't understand. And then when I was saying big brain, obviously I'm fucking kidding. I'm joking.
I know, you fucking turd. Oh god, it's pretty
But
funny.
it
though.
doesn't change the fact that I'm still big brain though.
It doesn't change the fact that you
Oh,
lost, Peter.
sorry,
I think that's
Adam.
the
Do you want to?
important thing. There's a little
Do you want
no,
to tell Peter?
no. There's a little
Okay.
internal. You know, that's an internal affair on their team because they had Carl, who's like compared to everyone else is pretty smart.
Oh, yeah.
The one girl out of all of
Why
them
do you
that
have to say compared to?
because they're all idiots. And then you had the one girl that compared to everyone else is fucking Albert Einstein, right? And then they had Peter who just knows stupid shit, right? And then I'm
man,
here
the shit you were
stuck
coming
with
out with, Peter. Man, there must be
honest,
some
I
little earpiece or something in your
No.
ear because I swear to God, even if I was on your team, I was questioning how does he know that?
I swear to God, most of my knowledge comes from comedians. Like if you just branch out, they'll talk about the dumbest shit.
This is true. I can attest to this.
Anyway,
what was the thing you said? Rip Van Winkle. That was from like
Yeah,
Bill
you
Burr.
said Bill Burr.
yeah, how
Yeah,
long he
that's from
slept for.
that's from Bill Burr's like comedy like special, like one of his specials. I think it was one of his specials or one of his podcasts. Like he was just going talking about it, and it was a bit. So yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
either way, you both lost.
Yeah.
To
Well,
me.
I'm the only one that cheats anyway, so.
um,
True.
yeah, but that was fun last night, and it was great to win for the third week in a row.
Unfortunate I couldn't be there. I had decided that it would be better to have a movie night with my family, with my mother and my sister. We ended up watching Artemis Fowl came out yesterday. It was a childhood book. Really, really loved the books. I read them when I was younger. I have to say, the movie was possibly the worst film I've ever seen in my
I
entire life.
thank you. I was scared to what you were going to say there. Started watching it last night. It was like, I don't know, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning last night. I made some spring rolls, bro. Right? I sit down. I'm like, fuck it, I'll get through it because I had nothing else to watch.
Mm.
Holy shit, that was bad acting.
Oh, the
Well,
acting is
Like,
terrible.
I mean, like,
What
you know, some of
movie
all
is
the Artemis. Did you read Artemis Fowl as a kid?
No.
I have to say, I probably read 2 books. Like, I don't know much about it, and this was when I was young. Like, I got them from the library. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so libraries were still around, and and I was like, yeah, this will be cool because I did enjoy the ones that I read, but Jesus Christ, that was terrible acting.
Yeah, it was horrendous.
Terrible. I don't know
Like
where they got any
painful,
of them
like
from. Every single
cringe.
one was bad. Even Colin Farrell was bad.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is,
and I don't know why. I think it was the writing, to be honest. Like,
yeah, obviously, yeah.
like at one stage, in the beginning of the movie, Colin Farrell is talking to Artemis, who's his son. I don't know the actor's name, and he's like, you used to believe in this, you used to believe in this, and he goes, I just want to believe in you. And I'm like, that's not a thing people say. People don't say this. Whoever wrote this has never had human interaction before. It's terrible. Judi
Oh, it was
Dench
so
is
bad.
abysmal. I
Oh,
didn't think Judi Dench.
Jesus Christ.
It's like whoever was casting the movie saw James Bond and was like, wait, Judi Dench in a bit of a leader role? Yeah, she's perfect. Like in the book, she played Commander Root, and in the
Yeah,
book,
it was-
Root was a man. I mean, that doesn't bother me. But at least cast a woman who can do it well. Like,
Yeah. But
it's
again, I think
horrible.
that was for her writing as well, and her voice. I don't know why they did
Yeah,
that strange voice. They had this. So obviously, Judi Dench has a sick voice, dude. She's like the Morgan Freeman of women, right?
Yeah.
And they just gave her this weird like growly thing, and it didn't even make sense to like she was playing a fairy or a whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
And none of the other fucking fairies sounded like that. Like it wasn't like a race thing where like they all have this weird voice. Everyone
Yeah.
else had they were just talking as if like they were acting, but
Yeah.
like they just gave her this weird thing that just ruined her whole character. It was just, it was just weird.
It
It
was
was a strange movie. I was very
terrible. Did you
disappointed.
yeah. How much of it did you watch?
Halfway through, they had captured the what's her name?
Holly.
Scott. Yeah. Short. Yeah.
Short.
They had captured her, and it was a bit after that. And I
So
just,
you
I was
didn't
like,
see
"Fuck
the
this
bit.
shit."
You didn't see the Josh Gad bit.
I don't think so.
That I have to say that was probably the only good part of the movie, just because it was kind of funny. But I don't know if I'm gonna spoil it because I don't give a shit.
It doesn't
But
matter. Yeah.
in the book, first of all, he plays Mulch Diggums, who's a dwarf, and they're like miners or whatever, and pickpocketers, in the books. And first of all, in this, and I thought it was kind of funny, he had like gigantism, so he wasn't actually a dwarf. He was like regular
It's just
sized,
a normal size.
but he was abnormal to dwarves because all the other dwarves were dwarf sized. So I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was.
But it's not like that in the book. But that doesn't matter anyway. At least I don't think it is. But I'm probably wrong. But there was one, they got him because fairies aren't allowed in the house unless you invite them. They're like vampires, I guess. And so they called him in to break into the house because that's not a rule for dwarves. And they're like, all right, just go and do it. They're like talking to him or whatever. And they're like, okay, just go break in and break Holly out. And he's like, all right, get ready, guys. And then this other fairy is like, man, you might want to stand back. And he like unzips the arse of his trousers, and then he just puts both of his hands in his mouth and pulls his jaw down, and it becomes giant. He gets like a massive mouth, and then he just starts eating the dirt. I was like, this is kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh Christ!
And then at one other
almighty.
stage, he eats something to hide it, and he just grabs his lower jaw and pulls it out really far, and just slips the thing in. It's that bit of the film was kind of funny. I was like, that's kind of entertaining. But apart from that, everything was shit.
I was disappointed as well that because I thought it was a Disney Plus thing. I expected they'd have this huge budget for it, and
They
like you
did.
know,
They did it.
no,
It was
I know, but it didn't
125
fucking
million.
look it. But you
No,
see,
it was
like stuff like
terrible.
Mandalorian, where all the alien races and that looked unbelievable, like as if they were literally real things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then it just everything about it, like the horse guy looked fucking terrible.
yeah,
Like it was like there was no correlation between his body and the horse body because it just jumped around the place randomly for no reason,
yeah.
and it was just
And
kind
they
of
didn't
just
even show his lower half for like most of his
no.
scenes. They like zoomed
It
into
was
his upper half.
just strange. The whole thing was not good. So
Yeah.
don't watch that. There you go. 2 movie reviews for one.
Yeah,
Go
exactly.
watch Dark Knight.
Uh,
Never watch that.
It was supposed to come out in cinemas. That's another thing.
Oh
But
Jesus.
then obviously because of coronavirus they decided to release it on Disney Plus. So
Mm.
I would have been
Yes.
unbelievably angry if I had paid money to go
Could
see
you
that in the
imagine?
cinema.
Jesus,
And I
yeah.
definitely would have done it because obviously it was like
Yeah.
my mom had read the book and we were excited for it to come out like, and it was just so disappointing.
And
Anyway.
did your mom think it was shit as well?
Oh yeah, she was like, that was atrocious. That was like
Yeah.
the books. It does not do. And we're trying to get my sister to read the books as well because my sister doesn't read books. I think it's like I don't read books anymore, so
No.
I can't really. But I used to read books a lot. But she just won't give these books a chance, even though they're like both me and my mom read them and they're really good. And we were going to use this as kind of like a, you know, you like the film, so now read the books. And now
Yeah,
she's like, well,
Hunger Games or
now
some
I'm never reading the books.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was so bad and it was just not
Terrible
good.
film,
But
yeah.
anyways,
Anyway, yeah, we'll move on.
we'll move on to a nice dark topic. Does anyone want to bring up their own one, or anyone have a good one to start off?
I mean, sticking to those type of movies, whatever. Have you guys seen the whole like J.K. Rowling shit?
Yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah, what's
transphobia
this
shit.
about? Because I just heard about the transphobia thing. I was like, I cannot be arsed getting into the internet again because it'll just annoy me.
I don't know, but I
I-
think what it is. Did you know, Adam?
I know what
I could be
happened.
wrong here. Peter, you correct me if you think you're going down the right. I think it's the thing of I'll look it up, but I believe it's a thing of just a biological statement kind of thing of saying
Yeah.
it's no, you're a man or a woman. I think is basically what she said, like that kind of Ben Shapiro view on it.
Yeah.
She said something.
I
She
think
wanted like a different name to categorize like trans people. So like
yeah,
not trans people, but like in her like quote unquote like real women. She wants them to be called like like what was it, menstruators or something like that because people actually have
Fuck
like
that shit, man. Oh,
function
Jesus,
like.
don't get me
See,
started.
I'm always up for like you know debate and conversation. Like I'm never gonna be like, oh, you're bigot, you're this. I'm gonna like at least trying to see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I struggle to see what she was trying to say, and
Yeah. It
it was like
was
and why you would say it.
yeah, the way she
It was so
worded it was so strange. Like it was as if she was trying to word it in a way that she didn't want people she wanted to get her point across without having people understand what she was saying.
Mm.
yes, I've got it here. So she said that she wants them to be described as people who menstruate and people who don't.
But
That's
but I was like,
stupidity.
but the thing I was thinking, I was like, but why do you care? Like what is the
Well, she
benefit?
went into that in her I wouldn't
Yeah, she made
exactly
an
say
essay on it.
Yeah,
yeah, she
sure.
wrote an essay on it.
But the
I
thing,
wouldn't really consider it an apology, more an explanation.
but it was such a stupid because she goes into it saying that as something around the lines of like she was physically like sexually uh, assaulted or something beforehand, and I was like, but that's a separate conversation.
Yeah.
That's a complete separate conversation. That's like me being like, oh, like man, we gotta talk about guns, because I'm black and someone spit on me. The
Yeah.
correlation makes no sense. I don't
Mm.
know what you're trying to get, like, in terms of, is she trying to say that
Sh-
because somebody who's gone through like who's gone through like the
transition.
the transition, and to use the same toilets as her, they're obviously not gonna have the tendencies of a creep, because no
Yeah.
creep is gonna go through 7 months of the, you know.
But that was her point.
Okay.
Her
Yeah.
point was like, at what stage do we draw the line? Like, if I tomorrow, without having any surgery, any hormone thing, anything
Yeah.
like that, if I just say, oh, I'm a woman today, um, like, am I allowed to use the female bathrooms?
And
No.
that's a perfect conversation. That's a conversation that I would love to have. Like, that's a like a great
Yeah,
conversation to have. But it's on her point. She didn't properly, you know, how to
convey
say it,
that.
convey that point.
Mm.
Mhm. She went
Yeah,
down a different,
definitely.
a stranger route.
She went a different way, and it almost seemed kind of like it, to the people like in that community, almost like insulting them. I'm just like,
Yeah, it was. It
Yeah.
came off as transphobic.
It
yeah,
did, definitely. And I definitely think she is transphobic.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
yeah,
Because, well, that's, I mean, that's the definition. Like, if you're
Yeah, I know.
if
Yeah,
you're
I know.
afraid that somebody who identifies as a female but isn't born a female or biologically a female is coming into the bathroom or whatever you
Yeah,
identify as. What she's saying is she's afraid that some big burly biker dude with a ginormous goatee is going to say, well, I'm a woman and therefore I can follow you into the bathroom. That's what she's
Yeah.
saying. But that's just not a realistic thing.
it's not realistic.
Yeah,
She's gotten huge backlash off it as well.
yeah.
Yeah, or
All
the
of the
fucking like,
cast of Harry Potter.
Harry
Yeah.
Potter, yeah, have come out and said a lot of them as well. I didn't realize Eddie Redmayne said it as well.
I
Yeah,
feel like
Rupert
like
Grint said it too.
I
Emma
feel like
Watson.
I feel what's I going. It's like it's a product of the times. I think she just outlived her.
She's just
Does
scared of
that
the
make
change
sense?
that's coming, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, not the change, but she just doesn't want the change. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. She's fucking old, dude. That's basically the description of how I would describe her thoughts. She's
Yeah,
old.
Yeah.
that's what I meant by like product of the times. Like she's still kind of stuck in old ways and not understanding, like, you know, not everybody is like, people aren't don't behave like in the fucking 90s or the 80s. So like, we just walk around slapping chicks in the ass. We're like, you know,
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah,
just
and there
not a
there are
thing now.
still, don't get me wrong, there are still people that do that and still
Yeah, it's
like
just not
creepy
as
people,
common.
but it's not a transphobic problem or it's not a
Yeah,
trans problem.
No, it's
Like,
just
if we were like there's only males and females, you're still gonna get your arse slapped by creeps.
yeah.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, your likelihood of it happening isn't decreased
Yeah, and the chances
because
are that if a man wants to, uh, abuse a woman, he'll just follow her into the fucking bathrooms anyway. Do you know what
yeah,
I mean?
like he's not gonna say yeah, and I mean
Yeah.
it's a terrible thing to say, but yeah, it is
Oh
true.
yeah, of course. We know it's wrong and stuff. There's a school in, I think, England. They were, I don't know if they had a house called Rowling House, and then they've renamed it, or they have plans to rename it because of what she said.
Good,
yeah.
glad.
That's
Which is
good.
obviously, it's not a big deal for her, right? That she could fucking gives a shit, but
Yeah, well, she's a billionaire, like she doesn't fucking
Did she
care.
say she was coming out with more books or anything
I mean, she's still
before all
writing
this,
books.
like,
still writes, yeah.
or like specifically Harry Potter books though?
No,
Oh,
no, I,
no, definitely not. I don't think so.
They're beating that franchise like to shit. Like,
Yeah,
they
but
just
it's always gonna happen.
I'm kind of okay with it though because I
Yeah,
like the movies.
yeah.
it's popular. They're
And
gonna do it. Same
even
with Star Wars and stuff.
yeah, and even the Fantastic Beasts movie, the first one was good, the second one wasn't quite as good, but they're both still enjoyable,
Yeah.
and I'd go see a third one in the cinema if it came out.
I loved Eddie Redmayne.
Yeah, oh,
I
he's
have to
such a
say,
amazing
so good,
actor. Mm.
incredible. He really makes a lot of the movies that he's in the
Yeah,
same
oh,
way like Heath
definitely.
Ledger made that movie. You know what I mean? Like the casting made that movie. The casting makes the movies he's in as well
Yeah.
because it's just so likable. I think that's what it is.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Actually, another movie that I actually haven't seen yet that he's in is Tolkien, where he plays J.R.R. Tolkien.
I haven't seen that.
It came out in cinema. It's like I think it's about Tolkien during like the war, because the war
Mm.
was his inspiration for Lord of the Rings, and it's like kind of a mix between his. It's like Tolkien's imagination coming out into the real world. Like
Yeah.
if you watch the trailers of it, there's like the Balrog is in it and stuff like that. But it's about the war. Like I think
Hmm.
I'm not 100% sure. I have to watch it eventually, but basically everything that I've seen with Eddie Redmayne has been insane. The Theory of Everything is one of the best movies I've ever watched. And also that one where he played a woman. I can't even remember what movie that was. Eddie Redmayne. Let's find out right now.
Fuck.
I just looked up Eddie Redmayne plays a woman, the Danish girl.
The Danish girl, that's it, yeah.
I've never seen that. What was I gonna say there? Yeah, so that's kind of fucked.
Yeah,
just saw-
about J.R.R. Tolkien? Yeah, definitely.
Not what?
Or sorry, J.K. Rowling. Sorry, I was...
Saying, especially when the movement was when the whole movement was first coming out, you know, when people were properly talking about it in public. Obviously it's been going on for ages. They've been trying to get rights and everything. And I think when they were first getting them, I know they probably don't feel like they have them now, but when it was all kind of changing, I guess she had a lot to say back then as well. I think it's definitely not her first time. She's one of those people who kind of says whatever the fuck she wants, and
doesn't
a
give a
lot of the
shit.
time she gets backlash. It's definitely not her first time in drama. I can
Oh
remember
yeah,
at
this is
least
the
3
first time.
times where I've seen it. Whatever the fuck her name, J.K. Rowling is in trouble over this comment or this comment, and a lot of the time it is about transphobic people.
Yeah,
but
isn't that? I
Definitely.
think there's a gay one there
Yeah,
a while ago.
gay and transphobic shit she doesn't really agree with, which is
She's
I don't
probably,
think- I don't
if you look at her,
think-
she's probably overly religious or something.
yeah, she just kind of questions stuff, which is I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, don't...
I just wish people wouldn't like take celebrities' words on issues like this as like
Yeah, but I think
to heart as much.
she has to have responsibility as well there. No, she has like I don't know how many people follow her on Twitter. I can assume
Yeah.
it's
a lot.
probably millions. I don't know. You have to have that responsibility to know that if you're saying something controversial, it's gonna cause issues. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
especially if you're wrong.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine if nobody got upset and nobody spoke out about it? All that would happen then was that she'd like empower people who are like-minded.
I believe it.
Should
Yeah,
they'd be like, well, you know, J.K. Rowling is one of the most successful people in the world, and she thinks the same as me, so my point is more valid now.
Yeah,
You know?
fair.
So people have to speak out against it.
It's not like I'm saying people speaking against it is like a bad or something. It's just I wish like on both ends it should be everyone like I don't care what your opinion is on this because you're not a fucking scientist.
Yeah.
Like
Definitely.
in a
Yeah.
perfect world,
what you
only people who are fucking like qualified to speak on shit should have the right to speak on shit.
Yeah.
But obviously that's in a perfect world.
Sherlock.
Yeah. Wait. I just saw the.
Wait, we're not in a perfect world.
Carol, shut up. I just saw that you, John, what you posted the PS5 in comparison to all the other gaming consoles.
Yeah, it's
What?
great.
Fuck! What the? Jesus! What the fuck?
Can somebody bring up the picture for context?
Yeah, I can do it now. One sec. Where do we put it in general?
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, just bring it up and put it on the stream so I can
Yeah,
just click on this just to make it easier on me. It's a picture of the size comparison.
Oh, John, you've gone quiet there.
Oh, did I?
Oh, there you go. Good.
Oh, my voice is coming back.
What?
I'm hearing myself twice.
Oh, it's because I'm streaming Discord. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
Let me
that's
do that
fine.
again.
I mean, I don't think.
Man, that
can-
shit's too big. Oh, big man, look at that.
It's massive. I can't see the writing now. But basically, the second one is, yeah, that's the current PS4. This is the
PS4.
Yeah, this is PS5.
That
That is-
PC.
That is the Xbox Series X, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Which was considered to be massive because it's
We
just a
just
big
saw-
cube.
wide though, and it goes you know what I mean? Like that's a very wide console, this one, and I feel like they've gone for the height. Like PlayStation have gone, let's make ours high now, and
Yeah.
these have gone, let's make ours fucking really wide.
Whoever was making it was high. Fucking hell.
Where do I
It's
put that?
it's kind of funny though. You can lie it on its side. You can see
Yeah,
the
it's
base
actually
thing.
the base, yeah, comes off, and
Yeah,
you can put it
and you can
underneath,
like slot it underneath it. Yeah.
which is also good for it'd be better for airflow and shit now because it's
Mm.
going to be raised a little bit off the floor, which I think is going to improve the noise. Because I don't think I know a single person who has a. I know it happens with the Xbox as well, but just most of my friends have PlayStations, and I don't know a single one that their PlayStation 4 doesn't sound like a fucking jet engine.
Oh
Um,
my god, it is
Start
the
up, it's
nastiest thing.
insane. Yeah.
mine doesn't
And
because
it's
I have the
so
PS4
hard.
Pro.
It's
Oh,
oh yeah, well that's newer as well.
yeah.
Yeah. But it's so hard to clean out as well because you need a special screwdriver that basically just you have to go buy a screwdriver to clean out your thing, which isn't really worth it.
It's
And
no,
it's,
no,
Yeah.
no. We talking. It's really easy to clean out. You just get
no, no,
water.
to
You
get
get
back
water,
into
and
the fan.
then
Oh.
Put it in the bath. Plug
Like
it
you
in and get in the
quick
bath.
clean up,
yeah, you run it a nice bubble bath.
and then get in with it and
Yeah.
turn it on.
But
Why
that is
bother?
I just made that joke. No problem. Yeah.
All right, did you? Just no one really cares when you say anything though, so that's fine. Uh,
insane. The height of it. All right, you can close the stream now.
yeah. How do I do this?
That's just nasty, man.
The size of it is just nuts. I think it's so funny.
They really think we live in mansions, bro.
Yeah, but like, does it really matter? Like,
Yes,
I
big
couldn't give
man.
a shit
But
if
how
it was like
small, though, is
if it was like a
your-
meter cubed. I couldn't care less. I'd still get it.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
find somewhere to put it.
It's just,
I'm not really bothered with it.
Yeah.
nah, man.
The bigger it is, the more cool shit they can fit inside of it. That's
Yeah,
why I look at
exactly. That's like the bigger it is, the better it is.
the bigger the hard drive. Hopefully,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking
But
that
there's,
whole
But-
added piece is because of a hard drive that's
there-
bigger
there-
than 2
see,
gig.
I don't have that faith. They're gonna find a way to fuck you, and I'm
It's
just
just
waiting. I'm just
No,
waiting
but
for it.
but did you hear what size the hard drive is going to be?
How big?
No?
825 gigabytes.
Oh my god!
That's what I've heard. It's going to be 825 gigabytes, and that is not enough. Especially
How?
considering they're selling a disc trayless version. That's just
Yeah.
not enough. And the other thing is, they're using an SSD, but it's a Sony-owned SSD that is a proprietary for the PS5. Like, so if you want a bigger one, you have to buy this one specific SSD. And now, don't get me wrong, it's supposed to be like the best technology,
Yeah, of
the
course,
best
yeah.
performing SSD ever. Like, you can't get a commercial one, that's better than this. But it's also going to be expensive as fuck. So
Right, so let's rewind just 30 seconds where I said they're gonna find a way to fuck you.
yeah, see,
As a comparison, there, you say 825.
yeah,
Call of Duty is right now 194 gigs.
yeah. So have fun having 4 games.
Like, just ridiculous. And because of the way they're doing it, I think other games are going to follow in that suit now as well, of having massive fucking games. And what was the latest date? Was like 84 gig? Some shit.
Yeah, on
on
a
console?
Xbox it was
Yeah.
84 gig, but that was apparently a mistake.
Alright.
It was
but
supposed to be
still, Jesus
44, but
Christ,
44 is
190
still nuts.
gig game for something that's Call of Duty. Do you
Hmm.
know what I mean? It doesn't even look incredible. Like, you know,
Yeah,
it doesn't look the best, and it doesn't exactly have the most fucking content in it.
yeah,
Like, you've got
Um,
campaign and multiplayer and Spec Ops.
yeah.
Wait, is card is only what 100 and what for you?
94. Oh no, I just looked it up. It's
That's for
100.
PC, innit?
Probably, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure for consoles over 200.
That's what I thought it was over 200 as well, so who knows?
Yeah, I'm not sure. But anyway, either way, it's ginormous, and
Either way, yeah. I mean, anything over like 150 is stupid.
yeah.
The whole of No Man's Sky is fucking 20, and it's like infinite.
That's a little universe. Like,
Yeah, like
it's crazy.
Yeah. I think No Man's Sky is like that because it's all on the server end. Like, you can't play No
Yeah.
Man's Sky without an internet connection.
oh, okay.
But either way, that is an atrocious amount for a game.
100%. It's crazy.
So I hope you guys have some really fast internet because you're going to be uninstalling them games pretty regularly.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's why I don't think I'd be too bothered. I've pretty fast internet, so like I can download any game that I want in like an hour. Or
Yeah.
maybe COD would be a bit more. COD would probably be 3 or 4 hours. But
Even if you buy the disc version, you still have to
oh
install it
yeah, yeah,
again afterwards. Like
yeah,
that shit is so frustrating, man.
yeah. I kind of get it though. It makes it so much faster when you're forced to install it onto the console.
Yeah, it's just for startup times, and so you don't have
Mm.
to sit there for 8 years after you
And
click out.
and don't get me wrong, like I'm hoping that I'm gonna be blown away because the hard drive, the specs on the hard drive, the better they are, the quicker your load times will be and things like that. So I'm kind of hoping that it'll like blow me away and I'll be like, okay, this is kind of worth it, you know?
Yeah, and I mean that's even improved. Even now on the PS4, well, specifically probably the Pro. There's a lot more kind of seamless games that you hear of now, like with the one loading screen at the start, and then you just play the game,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
like
Like
a
God of
couple.
War.
Yeah, like do you know what I mean? You have that one
Yeah,
at the start, and then you just play the game forever. You can go wherever the fuck you want.
yeah, exactly.
Um, so I mean, you can do that on the PS4, and you're gonna be able to do a whole lot better on
Yeah, and
the
the
new.
PS4 isn't even an SSD, that's a
No.
HDD. So
So yeah,
I'm hoping to be blown away. Yes, it is ginormous. It's way bigger than they made it look on the like
yeah,
in the trailer thing. They definitely like put the console like 3 feet behind the controller,
yeah.
and then they were like, "All right, it looks like it's about 3 times the height of the controller," and then they bring it closer and it's about 20.
Yeah, I was hating on the controller when I first seen it, but honestly, it kind of looks cool.
Yeah, and I
It
saw a
looks kind of
picture
like
today.
futuristic.
And I don't know if it's just in the video. I don't know if it'll be like this in real life. But somebody zoomed in on the grip on the underside of the controller, and the grip is all like triangles, squares, X's, and circles.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's like
It's a
it's
little.
yeah, it's not necessary at all, but it's kind of
No,
cool.
no.
So yeah,
Uh,
I'm definitely gonna get it when it comes out.
oh yeah,
And
100%.
The PS5.
yeah,
Hmm.
just for Spider-Man to be honest, because it looks like
Did they say
Spider-Man
how
is.
much it was?
No, I saw something today where a shop, like some store in America, had leaked the like website page for it, and it was going to be 699. But that's not
Is
confirmed yet.
to our last the Sony. Fuck, I can't talk. The Sony conference video, you'll hear me say I think it's gonna be 699, and these other idiots were like, "Nah, man, it's not gonna be that dear."
Mm,
Probably won't now because I've said that, but
probably not. I'm kind of,
that'll be better
Did they
anyway.
say how much the controllers will be?
I don't know, but the controllers are always like 60 to 70 quid.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I'll be getting that. I don't give a shit. As long as it's not like 8 or 900,
Yeah,
then I'll
yeah.
get it like on release. Listen, man, our podcast's gonna have blown up by then. I'll be able to get 4 of them. I'm gonna buy the entire stock. So yeah, that's fun. I don't know how we started this conversation. Oh yeah, Peter with the
Peter.
picture.
With the size, with the size comparison.
So yeah, go watch our PS5 uh, unveiling reaction thing. It was very entertaining, I promise.
I would like to say that was probably the best part of it.
Oh, really?
Peter
Yeah,
was muted for about 30 minutes during it.
Hell yeah. Well, when I came back, it was straight fire.
You
Mm.
missed all the stuff that you would have liked as well.
Yeah.
Like you missed the Infinity
so,
reveal.
so I came back hating, man. I started spitting bars at people.
Yeah, go watch that. What else do we have to talk
Right,
about?
so we got some heavy topics, kind of.
Okay.
Like I guess we kind of that was a nice segue into some heavy topics with the J.K. Rowling thing. I nearly said J.R.R. Tolkien again.
J.R.R. Tolkien is a transphobic.
He probably would have
You
been.
heard it here first. He probably was, yeah.
Is it transphobic?
I think everybody was back then.
But what's the
Okay,
attack?
so we've got some topics here. I'm gonna list like 3 of them, and then we'll see which one we want to talk about. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
So
Drugs.
Carl Carl put in first of all, he put in should all drugs be legal?
Yeah.
Now I don't know about all drugs.
Heroin. Heroin. Let's make heroin
Let's just
legal.
make heroin legal there real quick.
No, that's the discussion. You go, oh, maybe not all drugs should be. We'll get into it. Go on.
Yeah.
Just make weed legal, dude. Like, there's no other conversation there.
Yes,
Another
there is.
one.
Go on. What are the other topics?
Another one that Carl put in was, should there be a death penalty, and if so, what would the parameters be?
I like that.
And then Adam put in about blackface, and
Okay.
just a discussion about blackface.
It was just a picture of me in blackface.
Yeah, Adam put in a picture of him in
Fuck's sake,
blackface, and he was holding a very racist sign up. It was, I don't know. And we also have a picture of Travis Scott holding a microphone stand. I love that picture so much.
Let's talk about blackface shit.
Bro, he looks like Kirby with his mouth.
I thought that was fake for the longest time.
No, it's just really grainy and funny looking. All right, so what do we want to talk about?
We'll talk about the blackface here.
Yeah.
Because that's
Mhm.
a little bit current, I guess, with a lot of stuff.
A
So,
little bit.
well, yeah,
we'll talk about that and then we'll talk about the death penalty.
death penalty. Yeah. So,
Okay.
basically now with the whole
I'm
Black
gonna
Lives
do
Matter
drugs. That's what I'm gonna
movement.
do. Fuck that.
Have fun, man.
With the whole Black Lives Matter movement that's happening, a lot of older TV shows, and I don't know if there's any newer ones. No, I think it's mostly older TV shows.
It's all older ones. Man,
Yeah,
you'd be
yeah, everyone
cancelled.
basically are being scrutinized for the use of blackface in their shows, and they're being taken down. Like the whoever the like I don't know ITV or Netflix have been letting go.
BBC.
Of thing, BBC have been letting go of shit,
Mhm.
and I guess a lot of people have just kind of been like, why? Do you know what I mean? Like in a sense of, so like, I don't know. I can't think of one that was used in a. We'll start off with a simple one, right? So and like a kind of one that's still actually debating because I don't believe it's been taken down yet. But the Gavin and Stacey one, Peter, do you know about this one?
No.
No. So basically, in Gavin and Stacey, there's I don't remember the black guy's name, but he's oh fuck, what's his name? Greg? Is it Greg? I think let's go with Greg. His name's Greg, right? And
You've
they refer.
googled everything so far, so why don't you just?
Oh yeah, I could just do that. But basically they refer to him as like, oh, you know Greg, and then they go, oh, you know Greg, the black guy. Like everyone says no, and then they go, oh, the black guy, and then they go, oh yeah, yeah, I know him. So they're being what's the word? I don't want to say scrutinized again, but they're being scrutinized again, but for that, and they have a character called Chinese Alan, right? So everyone's like, doing their fucking stupid mob mentality shit of ringing up fucking BBC, I don't fucking know, and saying, take the shit down because it's racist and everything. Now the whole Chinese Alan one, like the response to that one was everyone was like, first of all, he's not Chinese. And like the character is just a fella from I don't know where they're from, but England basically.
England.
And the reason that he got his name was because he was a delivery driver for a Chinese
In the show.
for a Chinese like thing in the show. So they called him Chinese Alan. So everyone's kind of like, where are you getting these racist allegations from? And then the one for the black guy, everyone's just kind of like, I don't see not everyone obviously, I don't everyone clearly people have a problem with it, but the debate for the black guy is I don't understand what the problem is of describing somebody as a black person when they're a black person. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I guess that's
With that one, that's just stupid. Like
yeah,
that doesn't make sense.
that
But
one's a bit of an easy.
Like,
in terms
yeah.
of go on, Carl.
Go on. No, you go. You go. You go.
I was gonna say in terms of like people going back for old movies, I see both sides and go attacking both movies. So on the side of them wanting to like cancel the movie, like I can understand it because in more like awful situations, it's kind of showing your group of people looking like looking stupid, look like perpetuating the stereotypes that is causing us to be still looked at the same way we are now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like so in that way I can understand wanting to get that from stop it from being shown in more egregious like movies, stop that being shown and perpetuating more of the stereotypes for like the younger kids growing up maybe seeing that movie, it's just reinforcing what they see in their head. If those movies aren't there, they kind of
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying. But on the other side, it's kind of like I heard Andrew Schultz say it perfectly, a comedian. He said that like with time, everybody's a bigot.
Yeah.
Like like people in the future are gonna look back at us being like, oh, how dare they with all this and crap. Like, it's at what point do you stop?
Yeah,
Like
and just accept that that's the way it was.
that's the way like
Like it's like if you look at a film from the 80s or like even before then, like the 60s, you're
mhm.
gonna see some fucked up shit, right?
my,
Like,
a perfect example of that. There's like a lot of like old rock bands that people still love now. A lot of like old movies. For example, a lot of old American movies. The trope there is the senior looking for the new freshman. So the senior who's like 17 or 18 and looking for like the 14-year-old,
mm-hmm.
or like the college students going for like the freshmen and shit
Yeah,
like that. So like that was a very common thing of like 19, 20-year-olds trying to look for 14-year-olds and stuff in movies and shit. Nowadays, that's a pedophile,
yeah,
right? And obviously it is being a pedo, but they don't go and cancel those movies. Like some of them are
Mm.
now being called like iconic.
yeah,
Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, there's no like, where do you stop at this? Where do you start being like, okay, like we got to cancel this? And so, are you gonna say everything before 2000? All the movies, delete them.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think you need
As
to
in,
like,
no, I'm not agreeing with that. As in, like,
yeah,
yeah,
like I think everyone needs to start accepting. Obviously, it's like whatever the like if it's like obviously outrightly racist or whatever, it's like you have to just accept that it was made and then just not make it again.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
If that
like
makes sense.
why
Like,
like it's like things aren't allowed to be wrong.
yeah,
yeah.
Like
And it's
nobody's right 100% of the time.
a lot of the time, and I think Little Britain and Come Fly with Me are perfect example, like not perfect examples, but I don't know. I guess it's a different, it's a whole other debate. Well, it's the similar thing, but it's a different kind of type of. It was made from a comedy standpoint. Do you know what I mean?
mhm.
You know that sort of thing of
yeah.
like comics.
None of them were.
Say a lot of sorry, Carl, but a comics say a lot of the time of they can, like the majority of the time they can kind of say not what they want, but they can make jokes about what they want because that's what it is. It's just a joke.
It's a joke.
You know what I mean? And I think there's that whole thing of, you know, like fucking snowflakes or whatever who get annoyed at just a joke. If you know, and I think so. Peter, have you watched any? Because I doubt you have, but like Little Britain or Come Fly with Me.
No.
See, so it's kind of hard to explain. John, have you?
No.
Okay, so basically, Little Britain and Come Fly with Me are a show made by David Williams and what's the other fella?
Andy something or oh no, that's his fucking name in it.
Character, yeah. Um,
Oh my god, he's the bald fellow with glasses.
I literally he's in Doctor
Jason
Who.
Statham.
No. Matt Lucas. So
Matt
yeah,
Lucas, yeah.
Matt Lucas, right? And the point of the two shows is that they play everyone. Not
Mhm.
everyone, but like they play the main
95% of
character
the
in every
characters.
thing, right? So and it follows this. I think it's just random people in England. Like so, the main characters. There is no real main characters, but the main
Like
face of
main
the show is
stories, kind of.
yeah, as a guy taking care of a disabled guy in a wheelchair, and Matt Lucas plays the guy in a wheelchair, and David Williams plays like his carer, and they make jokes
Yeah.
about like the whole joke is that your man in the wheelchair doesn't actually need to be in a wheelchair, and like when your man turns
He
his
gets
back,
up
you know,
and
like he does,
stuff
I don't
like
know,
that.
he climbs a tree or some shit, like you know, it's just random stuff. But then obviously you have two white guys playing every show, so they then decided that they want, not they want, but like some of the characters in the show are black, so
Mhm.
they just did blackface basically, and it's not like I found it different to a racial choice. I don't know how to
No,
describe.
no, no.
The,
I know
It's
what you mean.
it's in
Like
keeping with the
it's
theme of the show.
yeah,
yeah,
like,
it's not
I don't know how
the
to describe.
jokes that they're making aren't like,
Oh, I'm
oh,
black.
look at me in
Yeah, yeah,
blackface
I'm
and I'm
black.
black,
It's
blah
just
blah
the
blah.
character
It's
just happened to
the
be black.
character black, and like the thing would be like saying come fly with me, they do blackface, but the character is always shutting like the
Yeah,
cafe down for
she
stupid
owns
reasons,
the
and
coffee shop in
yeah, and the joke
there.
is that like, oh, I don't have any say I don't have any milk, and then I have to close the shop down, and then it shows the character walking out of the airport and then throwing milk in the bin because she just wanted to get off
Sound very,
work,
but
but
it
it's not
is
like,
like she's
oh.
her character is a Jamaican, so he puts on like a or I think she's Jamaican. Yeah, she 100%
Yeah,
is.
it's Jamaican.
She's Jamaican, and he does like he puts on a Jamaican accent. It's not like extremely racist, to be honest. It just sounds like a Jamaican person. Um, and so basically they've just been cancelled. They've been taken off Netflix. I think they've been taken off like all the players.
BBC iPlayer, yeah.
Yeah, all the players for two. I think it's two characters. One character
Mhm.
is a there's Matt Lucas. They both play fat women, like they're in fat suits, and
Mhm.
they're in a spa and they're both trying to get this rich guy to like them, right? So
Mhm.
and they like get naked in front of the man in the fat suits, right? So my issue with the show, I guess, right, is the amount of shit that we've gone through with like like women's rights and women's being abused, but
Mhm.
they're allowed to like I don't know. It's just
The
it's
whole like fat
like they should
shaming
have
thing
been
as well in
cancelled.
it, and
If you're gonna cancel them, you had 8 million reasons to cancel them before this. The whole point, basically, what I'm trying to say is the whole point of the show is that it's offensive. Is that they're making fun of people.
who
That's it.
are
You know what I
offended.
mean? Like they make fun of a guy in a wheelchair. They make fun of a teen mother. They make fun of a uh, I don't know, fat rich people, and that's kind of the point of the show. And I can't find a reason where I would say, okay, we need to cancel this show. Where they're like where I can't find a reason where I go, this is racially uh,
Charged.
yeah, charged. Yeah, yeah,
There's no standpoint
there's
of
no
the
wrong
joke. The butt of the
behind
joke is someone's race or someone's like
It
I don't know
basically
other things.
it's the debate about uh if everything needs to if every um instance of this needs to be cancelled, or if the ones driven by hate need to be cancelled.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Because don't
yeah,
get me wrong, like blackface, I don't consider like I don't think it will ever see it in anything coming up ever again,
no, you won't.
and which is not necessarily a bad thing. But I also don't think all of it was done like from a place of hate. Like
No, yeah,
like David Williams wasn't making that thinking, great, this will appeal to white supremacists. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so, and don't get me wrong, I do think that happens, and I think it was definitely done not tastefully in the past.
Yeah,
But I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
all
think
of them need to
that's
be.
I think that's the argument is that like where it spawned from,
yeah,
like
yeah.
where it
That's the
started
thing.
from, wasn't from a great place. So you still doing something that wasn't great, but you're not and you're not directly saying that doing the stereotypes and doing all the monkey shit, whatever the fuck. But it's just the fact that that was where no matter what you do, it's always going to be tied back to that.
Yeah, and it came from like when you didn't want a black person to be an actor. You didn't want a black person in your I don't know
Movie,
play. I don't know how long it's been going on for. So you
yeah,
just got a white person to play it instead because you didn't want because black people were lower because they were not back in that time they couldn't possibly even be thought of as an actor as a higher class
yeah.
citizen. Do you know what I mean? So I guess I can understand there, but when I don't know, it's just kind of a thing of I'm looking at as it's a
Like they're
joke.
doing it
And
for for art,
yeah, for
if you get me.
comedy.
Like
Yeah,
people who dress up as like in blackface for Halloween, that's not right.
that's racist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
But if you're doing it for artistic reasons, because the theme of your show is that you two are the only two actors,
Hmm.
like, and you two are the people that made the show, and if you were to go and hire, like, it's nearly bad in itself to go and get like a black actor when you've done all these other things
Yeah,
just for
yeah,
the
yeah,
sake of not
yeah,
wanting to
yeah, like that
look like
token.
you're in trouble.
You
Okay.
see,
Like,
but the thing I hate though is that, like when it comes to certain shit like this, it's very what's the word? Ah, fuck, what's the word? There's a double standard, right? Because if any of you have ever seen Dave Chappelle's show, he
Mhm.
will play white characters, and he will. You see, he's definitely white, like put on like some white makeup or
Yeah,
something,
he's
and he
yeah.
has like straight like blonde hair or something, and he's clearly being a white actor, and nobody gives a fuck. And it's
No.
like we can't necessarily say one is good and one is bad. It's
mm.
just the only difference, obviously, with Dave Chappelle is Whiteface wasn't, you know, hasn't been tied to fucking
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know years of like wherever. But still, in terms of like artistic value, you can't compare one and not say, you
No,
can't say one's bad and the other isn't,
it's
especially in the times now.
the same with white chicks, right? Chris Rock and um some other guy, I fucking forget his name, bro. They played two white girls, like
Mm.
basically uh,
Is it Terry
in
Crews?
Is it Wayne's? I think it's something Wayne's. Damien Wayne's or something.
I haven't a clue. Either way, they
Yeah.
played the thing, and that show hasn't been taken down off anything. And that's such a, I hate saying that because it's such a fucking stupid, like all lives matter view of shit. You know what I mean? In a sense of
Mm.
like, oh well, if this is
Oh, you're
bad,
right.
then
It's Shawn Wayans, Marlon
uh,
Wayans, and Shawn Wayans.
oh
Mm.
maybe I don't know why I thought it was Chris Rock, but what was I gonna say? But then see, I was thinking about it and I was like, see, if that's bad and that's racially charged, then I don't understand, like, and you're making it in the context of a show. Do you know what I mean? Like it is, and that's an important line because it's different to just me going out in blackface down to the
Yeah.
shops. Like, do you know what I mean? So I find it strange that everyone has a problem with this, but then when a white actor says the N word or says a bunch of racist stuff in his character,
Yeah.
why isn't that
Yeah,
show
like are
taken?
we canceling Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah, why is that white person allowed to say the N word, but he's not allowed? And don't get me wrong, I understand like that's another kind of thing, but that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. Of this just shouldn't be happening.
Mm. No,
It's like,
no,
but
I
Or
sorry,
there's
yeah.
more like bite. I don't know if that's even the right word. I'm just trying to use big words. Like there's more biting issues
no,
in
no.
the
It
real
like
world. That
it's selective morality.
yeah,
Yeah.
People people are picking and choosing what they want to be mad about because they already inherently don't like it.
hmm
So like with the whole Leonardo DiCaprio and like Django, that was a fucking incredible film. So like, why would you want to cancel it? It was
Mm.
incredible.
It's like
yeah,
people don't realize, like their job is, they're actors. They
Yeah,
act.
they're playing a
They play
character.
people that aren't themselves. They play fictional people. And the
Mm.
fictional person that they're playing, like like are we gonna give out about Seth Rogen for playing a warthog? Do you know what I mean? That's like that's offensive to warthogs.
yeah. Well,
I
yeah.
mean, it's not comparable, obviously, but
No, no, no.
But I
they're
understand.
actors is my point. They're
Yeah,
playing somebody else.
I completely get what you mean. The only thing is like in some instances, obviously only in the past, it was only like whatever they be playing it.
Oh
Like
yeah,
even though they're
for
playing
sure.
fictional characters, it's like extremely racist. But it's just
Yeah, oh
like
definitely. Like I'm not arguing that,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah,
That's what I mean by
if it doesn't come from a place of hate, obviously. Like
yeah.
disclaimer, if you're playing whiteface and you're being, or sorry, if you're doing blackface and you're being racist in a show,
Mm,
that's still bad.
Yeah, I
yeah,
feel like there is that line. There
Yeah.
obviously is always, and there always going to be that line. There's always a point, even in comics routines, in everything. You know, there's that joke that goes too far, but then there's
mm,
jokes that are extremely offensive that you still just laugh at, and it doesn't matter. You know, like, and you see it all the time. Like I could make a racist joke, and Peter, you still laugh at it
yeah.
because it's funny. Do you know what I mean? And the point of is, I don't mean it. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not. Oh, I don't know. Do you know? Like it's just everything's fucked. The world's fucked. Fuck everyone.
But you see, here's no, so with that instance, I completely understand. I don't know why you want to cancel. The only
Sorry,
reason
Peter,
I
can you let
cancel
me
it
talk first?
with that instance, they're canceling it mainly because I feel like they just don't like the show, and the show just wasn't something they gravitated towards. So they're like, fuck it. In
Mm.
that instance, fuck that. But then
Yo,
they give Dave Chappelle a pass because Dave Chappelle is like whatever. But
Mm.
Yeah,
the thing,
it's different audiences too.
yeah,
Like these people are definitely not watching Dave Chappelle. They
fair,
probably have no idea what he's doing.
or who he is.
Yeah.
fair.
And
Yeah.
also, people love to hate. That's like you never see people rallying behind like good things. Like it takes something bad. Like every protest, every riot comes from hate.
Yeah, I
And I
understand.
mean, they're good things. Like the current
What?
protests and stuff are good. Don't get me
Mhm.
wrong, but
But the
like they
reason
wouldn't have happened if if there wasn't hate.
but then I suppose if there was no hate, there'd be no reason to protest. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
that
it
is true.
makes
Yeah,
sense. Like it's kind of that it
I don't
has
know.
to be some hate.
I'm just saying
It
people love to hate. It's just a
yeah.
thing. Like it really gets your blood pumping. Do you know what I mean? Like I get angry too, and I'm toxic like online, and I think it's the same. Obviously, it's not the same thing. Like it's kind of harmless when I'm doing it, and I don't like tell people to kill themselves or anything. Well, not that I can
Jesus
not that I can
Christ.
think of. Uh,
I missed what you said about the protest. What'd you say, sir?
I said that everything comes from hate.
Mm.
Like whether it's to like get rid of hate or like people are hating something. But that was kind of a bad point. But
Yeah,
basically, people love to hate is the
I
overall
but
point I'm trying to
yeah,
make.
I feel like genetically we are wired that way. We are
Oh,
supposed like any
definitely
yeah
primitive. Like
yeah
we fight each other for like how many times have you been like, man, I can do more push-ups than you. Do you know what I mean? Like it
yeah.
happened to me earlier today with my uncle. He was like,
The thing-
bet I could run rings around you, and I'm like, shut up, you saggy old bitch.
I'm pretty they've done tests. I'm pretty sure it's like a thing. It's like they don't test and it's like positive like shit. We tend to just negate because positive shit doesn't mean anything, but
Mm.
negative shit is like what really like impacts us. Even since like it's like our very primitive brain, as she said. So yeah, I think that's the only reason they would protest for just for all the hateful shit.
Well, yeah, what I mean, and I said just it kind of negates everything, but there would be no reason to
Yeah,
protest if there was no hate. What are you going to
yeah,
protest about? Do you know what I mean? Like
mm,
if everyone just got along,
yeah,
what are you going to protest about? Do you know what I mean? Like it's
yeah.
um
There was another thing that actually I wanted to bring up that was in the same line of what you were talking about, Adam, with the whole blackface shit. Was that there was this influx of makeup artists on Instagram and shit where they'd paint half their body black and then like take a picture of themselves. So like obviously half of the face is white, half is black, and then the caption be like "We're together," and a lot of them got canceled the fuck out. Like
yeah,
apparently, somebody we know, uh, one of the makeup artists we know. Do you know? I
yeah.
don't. Yeah, I'm
Don't,
not.
yeah, I wouldn't say no.
Did you say
Uh,
initials
but
maybe? Or first name initial?
do you know? Do you know the person I'm talking about?
I don't know. I mean, if you're saying we know them,
Yeah, we know. Like went to school with them.
yeah, I'm gonna go with yeah.
Yeah, the only like makeup artists we know, like we went to school with,
Yeah.
that like
Okay.
actually had like a platform or whatever.
Okay.
So she was getting dragged out of it because of the fucking like what she did as well. Like it was an influx of fucking like makeup artists doing the same shit, and people going around being like it's racist, yada yada. And I was like, ah, I wouldn't go necessarily as far as say it's racist. There's two problems I have with it. Number one is corny. It's just stupid. It doesn't make it just looks
Ride some
yeah.
wave.
No, it just looks dumb. It doesn't make sense. Like, it just shut the fuck up. Nobody gives a fuck about your opinion. And then, and the second thing, it was like I heard some. i- they're pretty much looting, right? And I heard somebody say this like point, and it kind of made sense to me. Was looting is like taking advantage of the situation.
Mhm.
So the looting, they use the protest like a smokescreen to go, better themselves by stealing shoes, stealing whatever. So that's them looting in the makeup artists are looting because they're taking advantage of that situation for a message they probably don't give a fuck about.
No, yeah, yeah. They're hopping. It's hopping on a trend. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
hop
A
on the
lot
trend.
of people are
So,
doing that.
so you're pretty much as bad as the looters. Like you're trying to, you're trying to benefit yourself on the back of of a good thing, you know.
Yeah.
And so that was those are two problems I had with it. The people who were saying it was racist, I was like, that's not. It was coming from it seemed like it was coming from a place of like genuine like love and trying to unite the people.
Yeah,
It
it was
was just
just tone
corny.
deaf. Like it wasn't.
It was just tone deaf. It was corny like and it just I knew what your intentions were and I'm like no stop.
Mhm.
That was just annoying but I didn't feel it was racist like they
Yeah.
got dragged for it being
Like,
racist. Like,
are we trying to like obviously cancel like educate people so they're not accidentally racist and stuff? And I think that happens too.
yeah
But like if somebody's doing something and it comes from a good place and they're trying to be a good person and like anti-racist, maybe don't hate on them, but be like maybe this
Y-
isn't
You have
yeah
to
this
be
isn't uh,
I kind of I kind of did that badly. They won't. Most people weren't hating them. They'll just say like, "No, this is racist." Like most people weren't like
yeah,
attack
but like that's the thing.
telling
Like
them.
I wouldn't consider it racist because it doesn't come from a place of hate. It comes from the opposite.
Mm,
But I know, and I understand it's like corny and it's it's probably not like the best thing to do because
Yeah,
you're probably just like promote it. You're getting it's self gain as well because you're
yeah,
like, oh look at me, I'm joining the movement and also showing off my makeup skills. But
and
I don't think it's racist.
yeah. I didn't think so
I
But
either.
think
I don't know. What do I
just
But
know?
some of them, are, of course, coming from that place of, um, they want to help. They genuinely just want to help use their platform to help, help spread awareness and stuff like that. But then there's also others that are the same as the looters who are just, oh, if I just do a little kind of black thing and, but, that I support Black Lives Matter and the thing, I'm going to get a fuck ton of views off of this and a load of things to my account. He's just saying that like some people are just literally hopping on the trend for this
Yeah,
for the sake of personal gain in the same way
yeah,
the looters are. So the looters are doing it physically and then other people are doing it virtually.
yeah,
yeah.
that makes sense.
That was the main problem I had with him.
Makes sense. Listen, man, I just want to say I don't care about your problems.
Thanks, man.
Jesus Christ.
I'm only messing, man.
And what was the next topic? Was Carl's fucking the death penalty?
Death
Drug.
penalty.
Oh, okay.
All right.
definitely.
That is something that I've loved to discuss, but I could never get a place where a firm answer. You know?
No, it's impossible. It's because it's one of those things of um I think most people, a normal person, I hope, would like to say that, okay, wait, I'm going to say my opinion. I'm not going to speak for everyone else. I
Hmm.
would like to say that death penalty should never be a thing, but then
Hmm.
there's always that thing that happens. Like
Yeah.
something happens, someone does something, and you're like, no, that person should be dead. Person does not
So
deserve. Like I like to think that everyone deserves like
a
that
second
sort of
chance.
second chance thing, if you know what I mean. And I think
Mhm.
prison right now does it. This is kind of a weird thing to give my views on, but I think prison right now does it wrong. I understand that you're being
Oh
punished.
no, yeah. I think everybody agrees with that. The prison system is
I
fucked.
think I think rather than just locking them up and letting them fight each other, I think there should be education provided for people in provided for people in prison and just shit like that, genuine help, rather than
Mhm.
punishing them, help them get better instead of leaving them to
Well,
sit there and hate themselves and hate the people that put them there, and then let them out in 10 years and that's all they have. All their family has left them. All they're left with
yeah,
is
but
hatred for the police and themselves.
what degree do you go up to that then? If someone just for argument's sake, if you right, so I'd probably be the same. If someone just got like got caught with I don't know, a pound of weed on them and they got sent to prison, then
Mhm.
yeah, okay, education, blah blah blah. But then do you do the same for say
Yeah,
Anders Breivik who went into a
that's what I'm
summer
saying.
camp and mowed down fucking 50 kids?
That's why I'm
You
saying
give him a second
there's
chance though.
there's no answer for this thing because in an ideal world I think you can do what I say and everyone can get better and everyone can
I don't think so though.
have a second
For
chance.
Well,
But
in an ideal world, though,
yeah,
mm,
of
yes.
course, but then
But we're
for
not living in one, so
that's what
for me, from the way I used to see it was that in terms of like a whole second chance, I always thought a second chance depends on what you did, right?
yeah, I'd be
So
the same as up here. Yeah.
let's just give a base of like because we obviously the
Like,
world's very
provide
weird,
a
but
hypothetical.
yeah, like I'm gonna give like a base of like not the hypothetical, just like a base of like in an I this is just an ideal world where we know whether you did it or not. There's no thing of like, oh, there's evidence this way, whatever. If
Oh,
in
okay. Yeah.
so if an ideal world we knew 100% you did this thing, if it's like for example if it's like murder like with like I don't know, like you caught somebody sleeping with your wife or some shit. You actually you kill them or like something like that. And that is a long prison sentence, right? So that's your second chance is or your second chance is just a bit longer than other people. Like if you accidentally kill somebody, prison sentence, but you know a bit less. If you kill somebody, murder one person because out of rage or something, that is like although it's a bad mistake, it is still a mistake, right?
Mm.
So in that situation, you're gonna get a long prison sentence, but in that time it'll be more reform, you know. But then if it's somebody who's like a premeditated, I'm gonna go to this shop and
first
I'm gonna go to this like mall and kill like 100 people, or I'm gonna go
Yeah.
to the school and shoot whatever. It's like in that instance, and we 100% know you did it. There is no gray area. What's the point in keeping them? Like
Yeah. That.
especially yeah.
you have to understand the problem there. I know it's such a stupid thing to say when you've brought up the argument, but like, like if you think of the amount of time someone has been wrongly accused, and in the past the amount of people who have died.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
fine.
no, but like like in
Adam,
Anders Breivik's situation where they have literally like he's standing there with the gun in his hands,
But
like
that's
Adam,
to,
Adam.
like
Your point is, I completely understand that.
yeah, I agree with
That's
what
why.
you're trying to say, yeah,
guys
but
are
No,
saying,
no, 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 wait. Adam, I completely understand what you're trying to say, but that's why I preface to say, in a perfect world,
yeah,
we know
I know.
exactly did it, right? But when it comes to something like that's what I'm saying. When it comes to the gray area, you can't really use it because
No.
unless I have 100% certainty that you did this thing, then like I can't, because as you said before, there's amount of people who've been like wrongly convicted, who have been like killed for shit that they didn't do, and then DNA evidence comes out that they weren't even fucking there.
Yeah, yeah.
So like that shit that shit was what I'm trying to avoid. But in situations where we 100% know you did it, and the crime you committed is so egregious, like if let's say we captured Hitler, would you want to keep him in jail? We knew he did all the shit. Would you want to keep him in jail? No, you'd
Yeah,
kill
but
him.
it's easy to look in the past though because you know that they did it. If
No,
someone,
I know
no, but it yeah,
that's just an instance of somebody we know who did it.
yeah,
So I'm saying like if we know he did that, so in that instance, I would say death penalty is used, right? But then if it's like fucking Jack the Ripper, we don't know who the fuck he was. We have no DNA evidence, and we found somebody who we feel might be it. There's no point. You can't use it
yeah, exactly, yeah.
because you
yeah,
don't know 100% he did it. I'm saying in instances we know 100%. Then it's like, what's the point? What's the point in keeping them? Like we're not losing
Because
out.
like if you throw someone into prison, that's all everyone's taxpayers' money is giving him basically a roof over his head and food for another say just say he did it when he was 30, it's another 50,
yeah.
60 years.
I don't know.
Whereas if you don't have them in prison, um, then your tax can go say back towards you, or like you just get taxed less, or like I know that I'm like this is just another one of the arguments like say for it. I'm not saying everything is about tax or like
Mm.
blah blah blah, but like you
Yeah,
I don't
yeah, I
know if
get
you
you.
get what I'm trying to say, but
No, I get
there's deeper levels than just being like, oh, they should be alive or not. But it's like going into prison, the prisoners still get clothes. I know this is a very like rudimentary way of like and basic way of looking at it, but like they still get clothes, they still get water, they still get food, and they get a bed. I know the whole environment that they're in is not like
it's not.
great or whatever, but
It's better than what their victims got.
yeah, exactly.
Adam, so I'm just saying, in an ideal world, right? What crime would you say, like, let's say you 100% you knew this person committed this crime. What level of crime would you say the death penalty should be used? And on 100% certainty they did it, like with camera, like they had their fucking, they went up to the camera and showed their social security number, like they did everything, so you knew it was them.
Confess
Yeah, well,
the whole lot.
first degree murder, you'd have to look at something about rape, like genuine rape.
Mm-hmm.
I think because I think that because you're like that's almost like okay, so for one you're ending someone's life, which is awful, and the other one you're fucking up their life completely.
Mm-hmm.
Like with rape, like there's so many different crimes that you can say that.
Deserve it.
Like, yeah, like I don't know. It's
Would you go a thing of like a life for a life in the basis of not like no, but not like in manslaughter or like straight up like
I understand, yeah, just first degree murder, like
yeah.
Yeah, but it depends. But a lot of situations obviously have a lot of nuance, so that's why we don't live in an ideal world.
Yeah, how
Yeah,
far of a nuance do you
nuance.
do?
Yeah, nuance here is more like more prevalent. So, in terms of like, when you talk about murder, there's shit that could lead up to the murder. Like there's a such thing as instigation that
what if
like actually lessens your sentence if like it's proven that the person instigated you.
Peter, what if you say you ring me up one day, right? And you
Yeah.
say, "Yo, what's up? Nobody's ever gonna trace this phone call. I have your kids captured if you
Mm.
don't murder John," right? And
Yeah.
then I plan out my murder of John. You don't tell me how I'm gonna kill it. I go, okay, I have to go kill John, right?
Hmm.
I go kill John,
Yeah.
right? And then the police find me and I say, yeah, this guy Peter rang me up and he told me he said he's got your he's got my kids. He's gonna kill my kids. And then
Hmm.
they go, What the fuck are you talking about? You fucking idiot. You just
Mhm.
murdered.
Well, that's where you're getting into the nuances of each
Yeah,
one, where you have to.
that's
Everyone
no
has to
longer an
decide.
ideal.
But then you see, like that's fine because I know and I've just told you that Peter has told me, but nobody does. So do I deserve to die?
No.
No, but
Yeah.
that's
So
part of the
I know.
nuance.
Yeah, but
That's
this
the
is
gray
so
Yeah,
this
area.
is
Like,
that's
no. I
part of
get you.
it.
This is no longer in the
Fuck,
ideal
you
world.
say
Obviously.
murder is dead? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, or you kill someone, you should die because that's not like
No,
it.
no, no,
That's
no,
not
no,
his
no.
argument.
That's not what we're saying. That's not what we're saying.
It
Like,
kind of is.
it's not
no.
though.
You're saying it's
What I mean
not.
by an ideal world, I mean all that nuance isn't a
It,
factor.
it there's no
It's just,
nuances.
it's
There's
just
no little things.
yeah. So all I'm saying is in that ideal world is I sat down myself and planned out I wanted to kill this many people. There was no other outside factor other than me just wanting to do it. That's the ideal world. But then obviously we don't live in that because there's nuances like that will happen. So in that situation, if you can prove that that this call happened because this is what happened, yada yada, like you wouldn't. I don't. Obviously, there's enough nuance in the world for like you wouldn't in that instance. No, you wouldn't be like killed outright. You shouldn't. But you obviously get a lengthy jail time and probably some psychiatric like help. But and then obviously to make sure your kid's all right, try and find who John is and why he called you and shit. But then like
John's dead.
in that
Yeah, I got murdered.
Well, like
Oh,
why
sorry.
the person called Adam and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
Who the person who called? Oh, it was me. They're probably trying to find me and be like, "Why did I call you?" and stuff like that. But
This is me projecting. Peter did
I
get the phone call.
I did take your kids. They're still here. And no, but I completely get that. Like that's no longer an ideal world because that's adding like nuance to it, and that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm conflicted because obviously in an ideal world I would want it to happen, but we don't live in one.
That's like oh, I don't know. Yeah, basically no, I don't agree with the death penalty in any world. I don't give a fuck.
No, but like discuss
No,
like
it's not a. It's not a like
say the
That's
point
what I
you
mean. What it is. You keep
attacking
saying
you.
this, but it is.
no
It's
say the point.
not.
No, Carol, wait, Adam, say the point you like. What you mean?
I'm saying no to death penalty in any world. I don't care what stupid argument you're trying to, or not argument, what
Or
stupid world you're trying to give me.
and no matter
No,
what they did.
yeah,
But no matter what they did, you won't do it.
I don't give a fuck. No, no, nobody should die. They should be in
But
prison for
what
life. Punishment. Death is too easy.
if
That is exactly what I was going to say. Death is too light of a punishment.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine that? I want to kill myself. I just go, oh, fuck that shit. I'll go kill a school. And then I not only do I get to take all these kids with me, I get to die as well, free of charge, and I
Yeah.
don't have to do it.
And it's not even suicide, so I go to
I
heaven.
don't have to put a gun to my head
No, that's fair.
instead of
It's too
getting
light
the
a
whole
punishment.
for the rest of your fucking life, you
Yeah.
piece of shit.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot
But
of
then do
prisoners
they
out there
get
that
help?
wish they had the death
do they
penalty.
get help then?
Oh,
They don't-
no.
But then
How
if you,
fucking
like,
no,
but
But
if you say,
then you can't say, oh yeah, give them help and give them a second chance.
No, why? No, don't give them a second chance.
No, that's what I'm saying. Adam's
Okay.
point from earlier is like, oh yeah, everyone deserves a second chance, blah blah.
This
Give them help.
because
go.
but the thing is, it's like, okay, the two options for like massive criminals is like either the death penalty in like in some places, or just long imprisonment, right? But someone could argue like imprisonment isn't that much, like isn't that difficult. Like, oh, you're away from your family, but obviously if you commit a crime, you don't give a fuck.
How bad can it be? You're literally alive. You get a bed every night, but you don't get to see your family. You don't get to interact with people other than other people who don't get to interact with people, and just leave them there forever. People
Yeah, but
just
I'm saying
Yeah,
if you
but if you're doing,
if you're gonna commit the crime, you really don't give a fuck
yeah,
about
you
that.
don't care. If you
So
think
like,
Anders Breivik is going like, oh, you know what, I miss my mommy. Like,
like
I don't think he is.
you're not gonna. So in a way, it's kind of like
No, but I think he's regretting getting fucked in the ass every night by Peaches, his fucking bunk person.
I mean that's all we can hope that happens. We can only hope that happens. But it's
Like, do you know? Like, okay, we're talking
Yeah.
about America here, obviously, because in other places like Sweden and
Yeah,
you know,
it's just
like countries like that,
yeah.
they do kind of try to reform them.
yeah, it's a
But-
rehabilitation center almost.
Prisons in America are atrocious, terrible, horrible places.
Mhm.
And I'm sure not all of them deserve to be there. Like, I know there's a lot of people imprisoned for selling weed and stuff, which is now legal, which is, they should probably be released. So not everybody deserves that severe of a punishment. And like, you know, if you rob a shop to feed your family, things like that.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'd agree
You
with
don't
that.
deserve, but the people who murder people, the people who like shoot up schools, just evil people, they deserve the horrible
Here we
prisons.
go.
I don't give a shit.
I've got the solution. Is everyone ready?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. So we set up. This is a whole other argument. So let's not get into it until I'm finished my point. Right? We set up a double prison standard. Okay. So
Mhm.
there's the bad prison for the what you guys would consider a death penalty offense, right? You know,
Mhm.
or like what anyone would consider a death penalty offense, the murder, the rapes, all that shit, right?
Yeah.
Then you have another prison for the small timers, people selling drugs,
Yeah.
people stealing, shit like that.
I
In
feel
them
like
ones,
that's already a thing
that's
though.
But that's already
That's already a thing. It's a
yeah.
different. It's like
Everyone, there's too many of the small timers, and they get put into higher security prisons with all the murderers and all the evil people.
yeah.
all right.
Like that's
Just
why America is fucked, because the prison population is so high. And I know that's a
But then,
thing with like the
then
racial
try get them
injustice and
out.
stuff.
but it's the thing of like prisons are like privatized as well, and that so that they have an
Yeah,
incentive to keep niggas in there.
Yeah, true.
that's what
Do
I'm
you know
saying
what?
about the
This
money.
is
If
this
like
is all
if
because of religion.
What?
I'm just gonna go ahead and say that right now.
fuck Jesus.
People no longer have the fear of God. People do whatever the fuck they want. People are like, man, heaven isn't real, hell isn't real. Once I'm done in this earth, that's it. I'm gonna kill some bitches. That's what's going on.
Yeah. You know what? I second that, John. I second that. Preach.
You know, I'm convinced religion was invented to stop bad people doing bad things. You know, like
Oh, sure, even the
what's gonna
Ten
stop people?
Commandments,
Yeah,
What it
they're
is.
exactly,
all rules
exactly.
of life.
Yeah,
Like
It's
no,
all about
John.
sins. It's all about your sins, bro.
John, the way the whole commandments was like made and shit was literally because of that.
I
It was
know,
like
yeah.
be told
That's
to live your life a certain way.
So there you go. It's because of religion and people not going to church anymore. Go to church, people. Say your prayers.
But then you see, but then it falls
But
into
then, yeah.
like there was like there was a church thing in fucking America where like all these black people in this church and one lad came in, prayed with them, had the whole ceremony, and then shot up the entire fucking place.
Clearly was
Yeah,
a poser.
No,
true.
he sat through. Listen, it was a black church. That shit ain't easy. That is a commitment, and he sat through that bitch throughout like the entire hour and a half, 2 hours of service, and then he was like, "I bet," and just started shooting them.
All right. Fuck this conversation.
I
I'm
don't know.
tired.
Podcast on religion next week.
Yeah, we should.
Basically, what I'm saying is the death penalty shouldn't exist because number one, some people don't deserve to. I don't think anybody deserves to die. You don't deserve to die if it's a minor offense, and you don't deserve to die if it's a major offense because that's too easy. You know,
So
they
would
they
you-
deserve
would
to
you
do
do
the time in
torture then?
prison. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be putting them on a fucking medieval stretcher or like pulling their toenails out and shit. But I would have them in the prison and give them a shit meal every day and just put them in their room and say, "Fuck you, shit in that metal toilet over there for the rest of your life and eat
Is that
this
then the
fucking
same as
porridge."
torture though?
Well, I guess it's like
It's a form of
It's-
torture.
it's you get your basic human rights and that's it.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
torture.
Okay. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Like,
It'd have to be a very strange occasion, like a very strange instance to warrant the death penalty.
like what?
Like maybe if it was like a tyrannical leader.
Okay,
Do you know what I mean? Like I'm sure Genghis Khan probably would have.
like a Hitler.
Yeah, like
That's what
yes,
I'm
exactly.
saying.
Yeah, like
That's what
Hitler
I'm
probably
saying.
deserved a death penalty because he would have supporters.
Okay.
And if he went to prison, I'm sure I'm sure in the Venn diagram of people in prison and Hitler supporters, there's probably a lot in the middle. Do you know what I mean? So he probably have a not too bad time in prison, and so therefore he should just die,
Okay.
which is coincidentally what happened.
All
I-
right. Can we finish?
I
the
want to know.
conversation?
Yeah,
Die?
here's a question.
Yeah.
What do you think would have happened if Hitler was captured instead of killing himself?
Mm,
Do you think he would have been put to the death penalty? I think it would have
No.
been made a spectacle.
Yeah.
I think they would have done it
public
live.
hanging.
Because it depends on who captured him.
America obviously was
No,
going to
I'm-
capture him.
No, I mean, if
Like
if
what?
it
Like what dude? Like if Jimmy.
No. I mean, like what country, like whatever is
Had
the
custody
like,
of him.
I'd got him, like had custody of him. If it's
Yeah,
the American,
it'll probably go to the UN.
That's what I'm saying. Like if it was the Americans, they would have made a massive deal of it. There would have been like a Netflix like they would have made a whole shit,
Yeah.
like a parade.
Netflix in 1945.
Yeah, what are you talking about? They were like, yeah, 100%. There would be parades.
Watch
like,
live.
everything.
The viral boys react to Hitler's death.
There'd be watch parties, everything, man.
Well, I mean,
But
we
then-
fucking it
but
kind
it
of did already happen, right? We fucking shot Osama or whatever the fuck the cunt's
Yeah,
name
that's
is.
true.
I don't think
No,
he's
but-
dead.
Yeah,
Do
obviously.
you know the five guys coincidentally died in a helicopter crash?
Good.
Apparently, that
Oh.
that captured him in inverted commas.
This is like, Jeffrey Epstein did kill himself. He's still alive, mate.
Well, he didn't kill himself, but he also is not still alive.
Nah, he's alive, mate. It was fake.
It was definitely his bunkmate Peaches.
Oh, Peaches.
I think that's from Prison Break, by the way. I didn't make that up. I think one of the police guards was not police guards. One of the prison guards was really evil, and then eventually he was actually put into the prison. And I think he had a bunkmate called Peaches, who was this big hairy guy.
Sexy.
Man, how long have we been going for?
I don't know. I don't want to
I
check.
think that was a pretty good.
It's a good length
discussion
anyway.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I'd say easily coming up on
I-
2 hours.
Yeah, I would say, right, can we agree on this, right? That conversation
No.
debate has no end.
Yes,
There's
yeah.
always
Yes. Yeah.
can bring
yeah.
An hour
just
41.
why I think it shouldn't be like
Oh yeah, we can discuss this forever.
I don't know. Basically, I just think there's no finish to that. There's no like defining thing. But it's not like don't be racist or be racist. That's very clear. Don't be racist or kill someone or don't kill someone. You don't kill people. Or not, you know what I mean, like in public or whatever. Or not in, like,
Don't kill people in
not
public,
public.
guys. Do it in private.
but it's just one of those things where I don't think there is a definitive answer. There's
No.
always going to be like there's like 14 different ways of looking at it.
Mhm.
Yes,
So I think
this is true. There's no right
Oh.
or wrong.
agree.
And I think that's why it's like in America it's like a state thing. Like in some
Yeah.
states there is the death penalty. But also there's problems with it too, like prisoners on death row and things like that, and that's another debate altogether because like you can be sentenced to the death penalty and then not die for another 15 years,
Mm.
which is kind of weird. And did you ever see that podcast or like the podcast clip even with that guy, the Joe Rogan podcast, I should say, with the guy who was falsely put
Mhm.
on
Yeah.
death row?
Okay.
Yeah, that's a really, really, really interesting
Emotional.
topic. Yeah, very emotional. You should just look up Joe Rogan
Death row
fucking
inmate.
death row inmate. Yeah, and you'll find it. It's
Incredible.
really good. You should watch it. But yeah, definitely no conclusion to that. We have some wholesome content.
Yeah, I've got it loaded up here, boys.
So this, just for context, this is a video that I can't remember where I saw it, but I saw it years ago, and I've been quoting it recently, and I just assumed that everybody else had seen the video too. But apparently they haven't, so I don't think anybody else has seen this video. But it's yeah, you'll see. It's a dude, and he's talking to a reporter about somebody trying to break into his house.
Shout out to Auto 480p. Oh, that's all it is. Okay,
It's fine.
here we go.
This out, intruders caught on camera invading houses. So could something like this happen to you?
Dave Rowe knows all too well how it feels.
Because you
have
wouldn't be
his
able to tell
home
what that is.
broken into.
Nice beard.
Yeah, and see, that's what the problem was. Because I heard him first. I said, hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. Then I start to taste them. I say, and then I start to smell them. So it's like a smell like tastes like other. So I knew something was wrong. I knew something special about it. You know? So
So what did you do when you heard the intruder?
I ran upstairs. I had to run. And I had to do what that little girl, what's that little girl in the Holocaust? She had a
Oh my
she
god.
Anne
Frank.
Hathaway and Frank David.
Anne
Hey,
Hathaway.
Frank, that's a hot bitch, ain't it? I had to get up the stairs. So he had so much rhythm. When he was walking up the stairs, he said, doom, doom, doom. Bitch, I started to almost beatbox up there. Boom, boom, boom. But I couldn't do it yet because I couldn't die. I got court tomorrow. So I'm just a little shook up. That's all that is.
Yeah, at least he got out of there and did the right.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't die. I had court tomorrow. Oh,
No.
that is my favorite video. One of my
The
favorite videos
beatboxer
ever.
was kind of clean though.
He
I
had
was,
rhythm.
I ran.
Uh,
I'm like that hiding bitch. She a
Yeah.
hiding bitch.
Anne Hathaway.
And Hathaway.
And
my God.
Anne Hathaway and Frankenberry. Oh, that's quality video.
Fucking
There we go, boys. Mood lightened. You're welcome. Somebody else has got to provide some wholesome content.
yeah, John
Up
has
in this
literally done
bitch.
every single one, apart from
The cow.
the cow. Yeah.
That was me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody have anything else they want to say or bring up?
Nah,
Drugs.
Jesus.
no, we're not discussing that. because
No, we
that's
can
just a
discuss
dumb
that some
topic.
other time. Well, yeah, it's a dumb topic. We can discuss it for 30 seconds some other time.
Do it next.
I'm
Tune
gonna
in.
start my own podcast. I bet drunk. Me and Mike Tyson are gonna start our own podcast.
Yeah. If Mike Tyson, if you want to come on this podcast first, that's fine. Just hit me up whenever. We have our business email in the about section.
Do we?
Yeah, I put it in.
Got into the email.
I don't know. I haven't checked it since we made the YouTube channel. Yeah, so that's it for today's episode of this week's episode of the Viral Podcast. Keep an eye out for some other content that might be coming up. Some gameplay and go watch our PlayStation reveal and give it a like. Give this a like and give that a like and give all our videos a like and leave some comments below. And yeah, enjoy and subscribe. All right, say goodbye, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.